Hello, I'm Luke Brailer, and today I'm going to be talking to you about honeybees. But not just honeybees, but how their populations are decreasing at such a rapid rate, and if we do nothing to help, they could be going extinct in the next few years. I know most of you are probably saying, I don't care, it's just a honeybee. And I don't blame you. I didn't care either, but I care now, and you should too. But why should you care? Almost all my life, I've looked at honeybees and I've been, why do these pests exist? They do nothing, they're good for nothing, all they do is sting me. Why can't they just go extinct? Why'd God put them here in the first place? But if honeybees do go extinct, we're up for a variety of problems. First, the first problem we'd run into is that honeybees account for up to a third of the world's pollination. And I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, like, okay, we lose some flowers. Who cares about flowers? But that's the problem. Honeybees do more than just pollinate flowers. If, if honeybees were to die out, not only flowers would be affected, but it would also affect a variety of fruits and vegetable plants as well. According to the USDA, honeybees are actually the USA's third most important livestock behind beef and pork. And I know what you're saying. That's crazy. Honeybees aren't livestock. Livestock is what we raise and breed to be eaten and just consumed by humans. How are honeybees livestock? They just make honey. Big deal. But that's wrong because farmers actually use honeybees to pollinate almost every single one of their crops. And if the honeybees aren't pollinating their crops, we don't have those crops to eat. And that's why the honeybee is considered livestock. So, why are honeybees in danger? In almost all cases, it's actually the human's fault. But in one case, it's actually a problem inside the hive. And this problem is colony collapse disorder, or CCD for short. CCD is an increase of Varroa destructor and Nosma SSP that leads to damage inside the hive. Varroa and Nosma both attack the hive from the inside out and can wipe out a colony up to 50%. If they are left unattended through the winter months, a normal loss for honeybees through the winter is about 10 to 15% of their population, but if these diseases are present, it could wipe out up to half the colony. Varroa is a small mite that feeds on the honeybee's fat, and it causes them to be weakened and have a weaker immune system, which leads to more honeybee deaths and for them to die easier. If these bees that are infected reproduce, the offspring are actually affected at birth, so they will not live to become full worker bees. Without these worker bees, the hive loses much of its productivity. Nosmis, or Nosma SSP, is a spore that produces fungus inside the hive. If this fungus is ingested by the bees, it will slow their digestive system, making them not able to eat, not able to do all their bodily functions, leading to an early death and less worker bees for the hive to have. Outside of the hive is really when the humans come into play. The first thing we do to affect the honeybees is actually cause habitat loss. When we do cause these bees to lose their habitat, it's just because of deforestation and building neighborhoods on open lots in open fields. But doing this actually destroys all the ecosystem in these fields because if there were bees stationed there, it would ruin all the plant life and all the food sources they have there. When we decide to cut down trees, it's the same thing. Humans don't care about what's in the forest. We just care about what we need, and what we need is the lumber. But when we cut down these trees, we cut out bees' homes, and we cut out bees' food sources. Next thing that's affecting bees is actually climate change. And bees rely on the times of the seasons in order to get their food and wake up from hibernation. If these bees don't wake up in time, they miss the prime times of hibernation, and they don't get the required food sources they need, which will cause them to starve and lose much of the colony's population. How climate change affects this, it actually makes it so the spring months come sooner, so the prime times for these feedings are earlier when the bees are still hibernating. And due to this, it causes them to starve because they don't have enough food. So, if humans are the problem, what can we do to help? Well, the first thing we can do is to plant more flowers. More flowers means more food for the bees. More food for the bees means more supplies for the winter months, and it means a healthier colony in the long run. The next thing we can do is actually the most important thing we can do, and that is do not disturb the bees. If we disturb the bees and ruin their hive in late summer or into early fall, if we destroy their hive, that destroys the hive for the whole winter, and the bees will have nowhere to call home in the winter, and this would wipe out the entire colony. And I know sometimes it's tempting. You get stung by a bee, you're mad. I know I've thrown my fair share of rocks at hives and sprayed them with water, but if we want to help save the bees, we can't be doing this. We need to let them be, and we need to let them be their own thing. The good news in all of this is that there are many organizations that are working to help save the honeybees. It's becoming a more known issue in the United States government, and they're doing stuff to help save the honeybees, because if we do not save them, we are losing out on one of the most valuable things in all of our economics when it comes to agriculture. Thank you.